Olive oil throughout the ages has been associated with living longer, hasn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And the Mediterranean diet proves that. They have that volume of olive oil, and their health of their internal organs is much better. And it's been proven. There's a lot of research going on, and here in Geelong, even at Deakin University, there's been some great work done by people there.
I am off to invisible grounds. Don't know when to stop. Returning, it's not the way for me. Only a mile to go. Somewhere I belong. I'll see it clearer now.
Welcome to another episode of Stevie's Plate. Today we're at Mount Moriac Olives, and we're going to visit Steve Parker and hear a little bit about his story.
Yeah, no, my wife and I had aspirations that we want to give our kids a different lifestyle than the city life. So we started looking at rural properties a long time ago. I take a long-term view. I've kept this place going for 15 years on a shoestring. Yeah, the money is generally secondary or down the track. I believe in the long term and what we're doing here.
Well, I met Steve Parker probably 18 months or so ago as part of some work we're doing with the G21 Agribusiness Forum. And I'd been assigned the task of finding some innovative projects where businesses, agribusinesses, farmers and people further up the supply chain could potentially work together.
The idea of growing your own produce and producing a healthy product that's good for you. I really have become passionate about looking after my trees, getting the fruit off them and turning that into really good quality oil. It's a product that we've had for thousands of years. It's a healthy product. We should be consuming more of it. Our friends in the Mediterranean are consuming around 13 litres a year of olive oil per person. Australians are only doing about 2 to 2.5. We can help the boutique producers be economically sustainable as well as have their own brands and move forwards. I think the olive industry's got a good future provided we do some restructuring now. I think the general agriculture industry, thinking of green vegetables and things like that, the emergence of all these little small farmers I think is a good sign. Food security is one of the drivers for those people, and I can see that taking off in a big way.
Most of the food industry sectors controlled by 2 or 3 big players, and we're now seeing that just like many other things in our lives, the community's reacting against having that sort of control and that sort of determination of what they're being offered to consume. So we're seeing a real growth in small to medium operators who are doing something different.
I've acquired an understanding to research things further, find better ways, and I've applied them here. I could talk about how we started off doing this all by hand and soon realised that it was just not sustainable physically as well as economically. So researched various techniques to become more efficient and do it more mechanically. And that way I could scale up and get the most out of the properties I do. We have a small farm, it's only 1,500 trees, but we try and maximise the production from it so that we can cover its costs and maybe make a little bit of money. So we take a efficiency type model, and that gives us a bit more scale and volume than our colleagues of the same size. I've met, particularly in recent years, a lot of young folk that have their little farming operations around this region, and they sort of impressed upon me as a better way to live, a better way to produce food than what has been done traditionally, or in the last 20 or 50 or so years with that advent of processed foods. And those people, I don't know, there's something about them. They're passionate about what they're doing with their hands in the dirt, and it's made me feel really good about what I'm doing here.
10 people a day calling in trying to sell a product to them to stock on the shelves. If those same 10 people a day were the consumers coming in saying, why aren't you stocking so and so, that would have a bigger impact, I think. So it needs to come from the consumer rather than the supplier door knocking.
The kids bring me back to earth. My wife brings me back to earth for sure. It's been a juggle raising young family for the last 15 years and do this, but light at the end of the tunnel really. The kids are not too long before they be fully independent, and that gives me a bit more time for myself, I suppose, and not get pulled every which way.
So there you go. We've gained a little bit more insight into what it's like to be an olive farmer. I hope you've enjoyed watching this story, and I look forward to seeing you soon.